everybody's having a good time. I am Doc Opp, that is short for Oppenheimer. So I hope you've all seen my movie by now. It didn't bomb. But I'm actually a real doctor. I'm actually a retired surgeon. The cool thing about being a surgeon is I saw a lot of crazy shit in my career. And now that I'm retired, I can talk about it. One disclaimer, though, I recently had an audition for one of these comedy shows, and the guy said to me I should be more vulnerable in my act. And I looked at him and I said, fuck that, I'm a surgeon. If you want vulnerable, go see a primary care comedian. You know, talking about primary care doctors, they're much like actors. They sort of try stuff and see if it works. Yeah, surgeons were like a stand-up. We go in, we take care of it, we get out. The only difference between a surgeon and a stand-up, when a stand-up kills, they ask him back. But recently I've had a life-changing event that sort of softened my attitude. I became a grandfather. Yeah, 2 months ago. Gorgeous little baby girl. And I'm doing the grandfather thing. I'm rocking her in my arms. I'm start singing Rockabye Baby. Rockabye Baby on the treetop. When the wind blows cradle up, when the bell breaks, the cradle will fall, down will come baby, cradle and all. I said, what sick fuck wrote this? My brand new baby granddaughter is going to crack her head, have a bleed, and die. I said, this is terrible. So I started thinking about some other ones, like what about Jack and Jill? Jack and Jill went up the hill, Jack fell down, he had a skull fracture. And we don't know what the fuck happened to Jill. She probably broke her neck. And what about Humpty Dumpty, huh? Humpty Dumpty had a great fall and he shattered every part of his body. This is some dark stuff. What about Hey Diddle Diddle? Yeah, I'm not going to touch that one. But the worst one is Three Blind Mice. Three blind mice. You got two sickle farmers watching little blind mice run around. They get bored, cut their tails up, and watch them bleed to death. Now, what kind of sick shit is that? So no wonder our kids don't grow up fucked up. But speaking of growing fucked up, what about guys who put light bulbs up their ass? Yeah, it's not a bright idea. You do that, sir? No, okay. But, you know, it's very satisfying to the surgeon when we take it out and it still works. You know, that's where they got the idea for the original blacklight. But, you know, I went to the emergency room one night and I saw a guy with abdominal pain. I asked him, what's the problem? He says, Doc, I got food poisoning. So I go over to examine him. As I get closer, I hear this buzzing noise. And I go, what the hell is that? And I notice his belly is sort of quivering a little. I said, you sure it's food poisoning? He said, well, Doc, you guys sat on something? I said, maybe, you don't know? So I sent him for an x-ray, and sure enough, he's got an object, looks just like this microphone right in his belly. Yeah, maybe he sat on a dildo. So I have to take the surgery to take it out. Make a big incision, I go in, it's a rabbit, and it's still vibrating. Yeah. Now there's a commercial for the Energizer battery. It's also a good commercial for the dildo company. Takes a licking, keeps on ticking. But you know, these things just don't happen to men. Things happen to women too. I saw a woman one night with vaginal bleeding. I asked her, is there anything unusual going on? She says, well, I think there might be something stuck down there. I said, really? So I have to take a look. So I have a little device called a speculum. I put it in and I look, and out pops a little piece of glass tubing about this big. Now, I'm not an expert, but it was a crack pipe. Yeah, she took the word crack too literally. Either that or some guy really did lay his pipe down in there. Speaking of accidents, laying pipe, I saw another guy in the emergency room with a penile injury. I asked him, what's the problem? He says, Doc, I stuck my dick in a vacuum cleaner. I think to myself, why would a guy do that? Any of you guys do that? Well, you know, the vacuum's got a long tube, it's got a suction. I'm thinking maybe it's like getting a blowjob or something. So I said, what's the injury? So he pulls his pants down, and the tip of his dick looked like shredded beef. Oh. Yeah, it turns out the vacuum was a shark. So luckily I was able to take him to surgery. I fixed him up, sent him home. I said, next time, use a dustbuster. So, I'll leave you with one other thing. As you get older, sex changes, right? When you're young, you pretty much do it everywhere, right? The living room, the dining room, the kitchen. So, but when you get a little older, you're pretty much just doing it in the bedroom, right? But when you get really old, you got to learn a whole new technique. It's called the hallway fuck. Yeah, the hallway fuck. You pass each other in the hallway and you say, fuck you. And I think my time's up.
Duck off, folks! Duck off! I just turned 60 years old and I still throw group sex parties, so fuck off, Doc.